Hi, it's Tom Jackobs again, and today we're talking about getting stuff done. Hi, it's Tom Jackobs, and welcome back to this edition. And I've been getting a lot of questions. I have this special Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, I welcome you to join it, and I'm going to put it right here so that you know where to go on Facebook. I'd love for you to join that special group of entrepreneurs if you're not already in it. So T for Tom, or T with Tom, because I love T and it rhymes with Tom. Well, it doesn't really rhyme with Tom, but it has T in the title. Anyway, I was posing the question about getting stuff done, and people are getting frustrated with not getting everything done that they need to do in their business. And as a business owner, that can be very, very frustrating, especially when you have so many things pulling at you, not only from your business life, but also from your personal life as well. And I've studied a lot of different methods on getting stuff done, and I've tried the whole folder thing, I've tried the day timer, I've tried computer programs and things like that. And really what they all boil down to is something very, very simple. And I want to break that down to you in 5 very simple steps. The first step is just writing it all out and getting it out of your head. Some people call it a brain dump, some people call it capturing, whatever you want to call it. Get it out of your head and on paper. Because this is what happens. When it's in your head, it starts to go over and over and over in your head, and you're like getting really, oh my gosh, all this stuff that I need to do, and I don't know when to do it, and all this, And then once you put it down on paper, it becomes now on paper and it's out of your head. And all that chaos can go away. Once you've done that, now you've just done like this whole like brainstorm or brain dump or whatever you call it. You captured all these random things that need to get done in a week, in a month, in a day, however you want to do it. But you have to get it out of your head. And then, very importantly, is categorize them. So what are the things that kind of fit together? What phone calls do you need to put together? What's maybe in finance that you need to put together? What is it about employees that you might need to chunk together and put together into little categories? And that is the second step, is to categorize all that stuff. Once you've kind of reorganized everything into categories, then put a time estimate. So how long do you think it's going to take you to have a discussion to this employee about not doing what you want them to do, or have that discussion about their job description, what have you? How long is it going to take you to do laundry if it's a personal thing that you're going to be doing? All that, just put some times down to it so you can generally know, so that once you schedule it, which is the very last piece, oops, I just gave it away. But once you've done that, then you can easily put that into blocks of time, and the categories will make sense, right? And then once you've done that, then it is extremely important to find out what pieces of that you can delegate to somebody else. Because believe it or not, you do not need to be doing all of the tasks that are in your head. You can actually delegate many of that. So as an example, I don't like to clean. I know it's shameful that I don't like to clean. So I've delegated that task. I have somebody else clean my house for me. And it's the best $2 that I spend a month. I'm just kidding, I'm not that cheap. But it's the best money that I've spent, because it might take the cleaner, I don't know, 2-3 hours to do to clean my house. I don't know how long it takes, I'm usually not there. But for me, it would have taken like half a day, and I've been dreading it and all that. Ugh, might as well just get it off my plate, let somebody else do it. Maybe there's some things in your business that you can delegate to other people as well, like making some phone calls or writing letters, sending letters, all that. You do not need to be wasting your time standing in line at the post office to get stamps. You can send somebody else to do that for you, and therefore leveraging your time, and therefore minimizing the chaos and getting more stuff done. Once you've figured out what you can delegate, then everything else is yours. Then you just need to schedule it. So block out time on your calendar and say, okay, I'm going to be working on this category between this time and this time. And you'll know how much time it takes, because that's what you've already written down, your estimate of the time. Now, what's key is when you're estimating that time, that you don't underestimate the time, but also don't overestimate the time, because then you'll be looking at the task and be going, oh my gosh, this looks like a lot of stuff that I have to do. But get a good middle of the road estimate of what that time should be, and then you can easily block out the time, schedule it. If you run out of time, then you're just going to move it to another block, maybe another day, and finishing it up later. But it is extremely important to make sure that you've blocked that time and you are protecting your time. I put a lot of buffer time into my calendar because I know that there's going to be things that I need to do and get through on a regular basis. So, like email, I block out an hour to work on email. And that is very important thing that I just brought up, is email, because that takes people all sorts of rabbit trails. When I'm clearing out my email box, my inbox, which I heard from, I think it was Brandon Bouchard, who said, your email inbox is other people's agendas. And it is so true, because they're asking you for things. Well, great. They're asking you for something that goes on my to-do list. And then you're putting time around it, and then you're delegating some of that stuff, and then you're also then scheduling the rest. That is up to you. Now, those are 5 very, very simple things that you can do to get rid of the chaos in your head. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Now things aren't as chaotic. I started doing this, a couple months ago, and it has absolutely saved so much time and so much chaos in my life, and I'm getting so much more stuff done. Because basically I'm running 3 companies and doing a bunch of stuff, and I have my volunteer work that I do and charities and things like that, and I like to fly as well, and so all of this stuff, and certainly it could definitely get out of control. But what I do on a regular basis, I do this weekly and I also do it daily, is I capture everything that's in my head, I put it in a list. Step number 1. Step number 1. Step number 2 then is I'm going to categorize it. So everything that I've written down, I'm going to rearrange it and I'm going to put it in little blocks of stuff that seems to fit together. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to estimate how much time it's going to take to do all these different tasks. And if it doesn't make sense for me to do it, step number 4 is to delegate it. So I'm going to let somebody else take over that job for me. Now I'm going to still keep a little bit of time for it, because ultimately it's my task, but I'm going to reduce that time from, maybe it's going to take an hour, I'm going to take it down to 10 minutes, because I'll need to explain the task to somebody else, have them do it, check in with them, and then it'll come back to me. Does that make sense? That's step number 4. Step number 5 then is to schedule it. So create blocks of time. You already know how long each of those tasks are going to take, and then you just block out time and get it done. Now, you don't want to just go through and just everything, just blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you want to do things in a priority as well. So making sure that you're working on the important things in your life, not necessarily urgent, but the important things that are going to move you forward. Because if you are working on the important things in your business and in your life, then the urgent things will never happen. So that's my goal for you this week, is to make sure that you're uncluttering your head and you're going through these 5 steps to make things a lot more simple in your life, and ultimately you are getting more stuff done. Well, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast, but thank you for joining me today. It is Tom Jackobs with TomJacobs.com, and I welcome you to get in contact with me. Go to my website, TomJacobs.com, schedule a consultation, fill in your details. I promise I won't spam you, but fill in your details. Let's have a chat about your business, how I might be able to help you out. That's what I do. I help businesses out be more successful and ultimately live more fulfilled lives. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel too.